Hi. Today in this video I will tell you a train horror story. The title of story is Midnight Express. So let's start the video. The clock struck midnight as the old-fashioned train, known only to locals as the Midnight Express, began its journey from the small, forgotten town of Ravenwood. The train was an anachronism, with its gleaming brass fittings and ornate wooden compartments, an oddity that seemed to belong to another era. It was said to appear only on the darkest of nights, and only to those who had something to regret. Eleanor Hart, a weary journalist searching for a story, boarded the train with a sense of anticipation. The Midnight Express was rumored to be a relic of the past, its final journey a tragic tale of lost souls and restless spirits. Eleanor had heard the legends and dismissed them as superstition. But tonight, she was about to discover the truth. The compartments were empty, save for a few passengers who seemed oddly out of place. There was an old man with a weathered face, a young couple whose eyes darted nervously, and a woman dressed in mourning attire. The air inside was musty, as though it had been sealed away for decades. As the train chugged along through the dense forest, Eleanor began to feel an unsettling chill. The lights flickered and dimmed, casting long shadows that danced menacingly across the walls. She noticed that the scenery outside the window was shifting. Trees and fields that had been lush and green were now withered and dead, as though the train were traveling through some decaying realm. The old man, sensing Eleanor's discomfort, leaned over and whispered, "This train has a way of showing you what you've lost. It takes you through your own personal hell, one regret at a time." Eleanor dismissed his words as the ravings of a madman, but her skepticism began to wane when the train entered a tunnel. The darkness was absolute, suffocating, and when the lights came back on, everything had changed. The compartments were now eerily silent, and the other passengers had vanished. The train seemed to be moving faster, the rumble beneath her becoming a deafening roar. Eleanor stumbled through the empty aisles, her heart racing, until she reached the conductor's cabin. The door was slightly ajar, and she could see the silhouette of the conductor at the controls. "Please, let me out," Eleanor pleaded, but the conductor remained motionless, his face hidden in shadow. Suddenly, the train jolted, and the lights went out completely. Eleanor was plunged into pitch darkness. The sound of her own breathing was loud in her ears. Then came the whispers, soft at first, but growing louder, a cacophony of voices filled with sorrow and anger. As her eyes adjusted, Eleanor saw them figures emerging from the shadows, their faces twisted in agony. They were the passengers from earlier, but their eyes were hollow and their expressions frozen in terror. They reached out to her, their hands like icy tendrils. Desperate, Eleanor ran back to her compartment, but it was no use. The train seemed endless, looping through a nightmarish landscape of forgotten memories and unfulfilled desires. Each compartment she entered was a reflection of her own fears and regrets. She saw the people she had wronged, the chances she had squandered, the dreams she had abandoned. In the final compartment, Eleanor found herself face to face with her own reflection, distorted and grotesque. Her own voice echoed back at her, accusing and condemning. The realization hit her hard. This train was not just a vehicle, it was a judgment, a purgatory for those who had not come to terms with their past. The Midnight Express roared on, its destination unknown. Eleanor understood now that there would be no escape, no redemption. The train would continue its journey through the darkness, carrying with it the regrets of those who had boarded, forever trapped in a nightmarish loop. As the train's lights flickered one last time before plunging back into darkness, Eleanor's scream was swallowed by the void, joining the chorus of the damned that would ride the Midnight Express for eternity. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video and subscribe my channel.